And here we are, live now. Episode number 33 of the Minor League Geeks podcast. I am your host, Brant Ramlin with Ranch, and with me this week is Mr. Connor, Property Zach.
Hello.
It's been a little while since we've done an actual new show. We had a couple of old shows from the archives, to satiate your minor league geekiness. Lots happened. I think that happened. We didn't talk about the connectless Xbox One.
That's
dealy.
happened. A bunch of shit's happened.
Yeah, Mario Kart just came out today. Transistor has already come out. I mean, we don't even talk about current stuff. We just everybody. If you don't know,
I don't think we've ever talked about like a breaking news story.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that. But everybody brings a geeky topic to the table. But this episode is going to be a little bit different because it's just Connor and I. Because we're going to do a quick episode this week, and so it's just going to be a one-topic show because Connor and I are both going through something. We're going through what David Bowie calls changes. Changes.
Changes.
I don't know why I did it like a hip hop artist do. Changes as opposed to
shit.
Shit. How he did this is definitely an explicit show. How Bowie did it on Honky Dory in, I think, 1971. Anyway, so we're going to talk about doing some, just the pros, the cons, the process of doing some hardware upgrades to both the console and the computer, because both Connor and I are doing that. Actually, I did it this morning. I upgraded my PlayStation 4's hard drive from 500 gigabytes to a terabyte, and I actually have an interesting point to talk to you about that. And then Connor ordered a solid-state drive for his MacBook Pro, which is going to speed things up considerably. So let's talk about the reasons why my hair is outrageous right now. It's
nice. It's real nice.
It's truly yours is not. Yours is like great. Mine is like if I just had sex in a dryer. So
that's the look to go for.
There was tumbling, and we were on Tumblr because we're the multitasking generation. There's tumbling and tweeting and sending photographs from one person to another. So why don't we talk about the reasons why we did our respective upgrades or doing our respective upgrades, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the PlayStation 4 hard drive upgrade process.
Yeah, I want to know how that went.
Yeah, so Connor, why are you? What prompted you? What command prompted you to think, hey, I'm going to upgrade my computer's hard drive to a solid-state drive?
Well, I've wanted to for a while, but actually, go figure, it was a command line. I was trying to boot into Windows, and it literally takes 5 minutes.
That's too long.
That's too long. It won't even get to the starting Windows page, like it's a MacBook, so I'm dual booting it.
Right.
And it'll just sit at the command prompt flashing for 5-10 minutes. And I just get up, leave, go do other things, make dinner.
It's like dial-up in the late 90s, early 2000s. You can load. The website gives you enough time to make a sandwich while it loads.
Basically. The other thing is I was on the Mac side trying to export a video in Premiere. No, just would not let me.
That's garbage. So I'm fairly new. I've been a computer geek for a long time. And I only went solid state. I only fucking saw the light recently back in October. In October, it was the first time that I ever had a computer with a solid state drive in it. Until then, I was like, well, what's the big deal about these solid state drives? Because I had first of all, I was like a plantation owner. True. From centuries ago, and then I went back to the future, and I decided that plantation owning was not for me in this workaday world. And so I got a computer with a solid state drive, and I remember I was in the Apple store, and I wanted to do a test of how long it would take a computer to boot, because I was waiting. I was used to how long it took a computer with a hard drive to boot. And so I got the timer app or the clock out on my phone, and I restarted the computer, and then from restart to boot, it was like 14 seconds, and I'm like, this
absurd.
This is so much different than the 2.5 minutes that I'm used to. I am losing my goddamn mind.
See, my favorite is when I'm like in Premiere or something, and I'm going through the media browsers, just trying to find like a specific JPEG to drag in. It'll take like substantial seconds to load each folder, subsequently deep.
Right.
Like, I want this folder. Okay, let me take that for you. It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, and you get to hear the with each folder that you open.
Oh, what is it? It's Giant Bomb. When I play Giant Bomb videos, my computer sounds like it's taking off.
Yeah, it's the because between the hard drive and the fans, you have like a whole cacophony going on in your computer.
Sounds like an airport.
Right, which is unfortunate. I'm glad you. So you have it's a 2010 MacBook Pro or 2011?
Early 2011.
All right. Right.
I think I might. I'm not sure. I bought it right at one of the cutoff points. I'm not sure if it was brand new or about to be outdated.
Right. Yeah. But you still have a MacBook Pro that has an optical drive and a hard drive in it, which is good in the sense that those machines were more upgradable than the new ones. If something goes wrong with my MacBook Pro at this point, I'm fucked. 5 ways to Friday, which is really unfortunate. But you there was a Newegg sale. You bought a solid state hard disk.
Actually, I got it on Amazon, but.
Oh yeah, there was a Newegg sale, but then without the mail-in rebate, it was the same price on Amazon. So you bought it on the Amazon. Did you opt for the $4 one-day shipping?
Oh, I did. Yes, I did.
Such a
please.
Son of a bitch.
$4.
I know.
$120. My total is $123.99. That's in savings.
You dealt with it. And so, so I guess tomorrow. Did you do the cutoff point, or is it going to be the day after tomorrow?
It's going to be Monday.
Oh,
Friday.
It's the worst.
Friday. June 3rd.
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
But I get to try and render a whole nother video before then.
Yeah, you have the weekend.
Swimming.
It's so unfortunate. No, a solid state drive. I'm never ever gonna go back. I mean, there's not really a way for me to go back unless I build my own computer. Because it's not like they put a lot of hard drives in Macs anymore. There's only a couple. But it's good. I'm interested. You should do a couple of benchmarks. You should time out how long it takes you to boot.
It's just gonna be laughable, really.
Yeah, now and then when you end up upgrading, and so it'll be your last weekend. Get nostalgic for all that,
all the waiting.
You're gonna go through with the advice
time.
Yeah, the advice that I gave you, right? You're just gonna do you have a flash drive running around that you can just?
Okay, what I think I'm gonna try and do first is just put it in, fresh install. That's it.
The thing is that I think that'll actually work, and I forget exactly why. There's some weird thing where that actually makes sense because it didn't used to, but I think that there is something where the Mac somewhere in its hard drive, or not even hard drive, somewhere in it.
When you boot. You hold Alt or whatever to boot into it.
Right.
It presents you with all your options if you have Boot Camp or whatever. There's a whole separate 10.9 recovery hard drive. Right. I'm not sure if that's a partition of the main hard drive or if it's on board.
Yeah, I completely forget why. I mean, there's no reason why it should be on board, and yet for some reason I think I remember actually
watching. Except for this
tutorial.
Exact reason.
Yeah, I remember watching a tutorial and then somebody put in a fresh hard drive and they just there's an operating system.
Yeah.
But again, worst comes to worst. If you have a blank digital video disc around, if you have a blank DVD, you could always burn the Mavericks image to that.
Yeah. The only thing that hates me worse than my hard drive right now is my optical drive.
Yeah, of course. Well, I don't even have an optical drive.
I put in a CD to try and install Windows. It was not happy.
Oh, yeah. No, I do everything via USB. USB key. So that's hard drive. I suggest anybody who has a computer that you can replace the hard drive, and you are on the fence about buying a new computer, I would say just upgrade to a solid state drive and just hang out for a couple of years, because that's honest to God, it's a monumental improvement. Because I've watched videos of hard drive to SSD conversions, and processors haven't exactly gotten a lot better, and unless you're gaming, the graphics on a computer are, they're fine.
They're fine. My MacBook is totally acceptable. It's not good, but it's fine.
Yeah, it'll get you through Portal.
Oh yeah, it'll play a lot newer games than that too. It just doesn't get happy with me. The fan. Yeah.
It'll be good once you get the solid state drive. It'll be good.
It's nice though, because when I play Kerbal Space Program and I take off my rockets, as I'm taking off, the computer's like, "Shit, you're doing stuff," and just pushes out the fan. It's like 3D immersion, basically.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I didn't have the option to do a solid-state drive for my upgrade.
Yes, you did.
Because I was going to say, but because quite frankly, it would double the cost of the goddamn system. A
It was
500.
an option, though. It was the correct option.
No, actually, I don't know if there's a 1 terabyte. I know there's a 1 terabyte like PCIe based flash thing. That's the type of actual SSD.
Oh yeah, but you'd need a SATA, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would actually need. I would need to like do some soldering and fucking other crazy
That
things.
does not sound fun.
Right. So I had a hard drive at home, a 1 terabyte hard drive from a laptop that I just had hanging around, and it was partitioned in a really weird way, and it didn't want to mount because you have to format your hard drive to FAT32 in order to put it into your PlayStation 4 and have it read it.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Why not
FAT32.
NTFS?
No, do I look like Mark Cerny? I'm not.
You should.
At USP. Ask him.
At USP, why do you use not NTFS? Well, isn't that Microsoft?
Yeah, but I mean, FAT is a Windows kind of thing too.
Yeah,
It's not like it's Mac OS 10 journaled or whatever. So
God,
that was
fuck that.
Yeah, it was terrible. So I had to actually I put a post on a forum, on a tech forum, being like, this hard drive refuses to do anything, and then somebody hit me to this bootable version of Linux that is made exclusively to fix hard drives or to like modify them. And so through that version of Linux, I was able to delete all the partitions, reallocate the space, and then put it into the system. Now here's
that program, fix a hard drive I dropped.
No, because the thing is about hard drives, and another reason that I prefer SSDs is a hard drive is basically a spinning disk inside the thing. So if it falls, sometimes the actual disk inside can crack. And so then you're fucked really badly.
I had a really old portable terabyte. It's fucked, gone.
Yeah. So you gotta be careful with those things.
It was nice. I pulled all the things off of it. I was like, I'm gonna reformat it. Died.
Yeah, it happens.
The second I took all the data off, it's like, thank God, I'm killing myself now.
I've served you well. So here's the interesting bit, Connor. If you go on the internet, this thing that we're currently broadcasting on, it'll tell you that you will need a 9.5 millimeter hard drive to put into the PlayStation 4.
Is that the equivalent of 2.5 inches?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's the 2.5 it's about the width, but the height it can vary a little bit, and it's gotten smaller. So back when I bought my hard drive, the hard drive that's in it now, to get a 1 terabyte hard drive, which is like unheard of because it was 2010, and I'm just crazy. It had to be 12 and a half millimeters high, not 9.5. And so I'm like, let's see if this works. So I put it in. I take the enclosure off, and I get the other hard drive out, and of course it's the 9.5 millimeters, and so it's tiny, and it looks like I'm putting in a fatter, like the Fat Princess version of the hard drive. I stick it in, and it fits into the hard drive caddy. Barely, but it fits.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, fuck it. Let's see. If I can push it all the way into where the old hard drive was, which it was also a tight fit, that means that like the pins on the hard drive must fit into the slot. So I put it in. I put the cover back on. I plug it in, and what you need to do is you need to download the latest firmwares. The firmwares, Connor. And you put it on a USB key, and then it reads it off the USB key, and you can now it writes it to the hard drive, and then everything's honky-dory. But there are two different firmwares for the PS4. One's a smaller one, which is just the update file, from 1.5 to 1.7, and then one's like the straight-up 1.7. You can throw it into anything, and it'll just go. And so I downloaded the smaller one, and it kept giving this error, and I'm like, oh, is it the fucking hard drive? Is it really like the 12.5 really won't fit? But then I downloaded the right one, plugged it in, and it completely installed. So if you have a 12.5 millimeter high laptop hard drive, go for it. It works perfectly. Now I have a terabyte of space on my PS4 that
much room for activities.
I'm probably not going to take up because I like do downloadable games. But PS Plus actually, they just announced that there will be 2 PS4 games per month from now on.
Oh, really? Did they announce what they are?
Yeah, I can. If you want to vamp for a second, talk about Property of Zach.
Okay.
While I figure this out.
Guess who read a Property of Zach article?
I don't know.
Big
Tell me.
news. Mark Hoppus from Blink-182.
Oh right, I think you. Yeah, you told me about that.
Oh yes, I did. Yeah. We wrote an article about if Blink-182 should break up again. I kind of vote yes, which sucks because I love them. But Mark Hoppus read it and basically responded being like, I love Blink. It's not going to end. It's my baby. I'll do everything for it. And we were just kind of like, that's great. But the problem is you're not the whole band, and the other band doesn't really give a shit.
The other couple members.
Yeah. Tom DeLonge does not really fucks with the Blink-182 anymore.
All right. Now that's wonderful, and my girlfriend really loves them, and I have wanted to see them and never got around to it. So if they do
that before they break up,
I know if they do like one more round, then I will probably.
What I was saying is they should just tour every other summer, just do a summer tour, and then do nothing else in the in between. Yeah, and in the in between, do whatever they want.
Did you see before one more thing before we get back into the PlayStation because I found the titles? Did you guys write about the Sum 41 guy, the frontman?
Yes, we did. That's crazy.
He did not look well.
He almost died.
Yeah,
like,
he has one more drink will kill him.
He was in the hospital for a month.
Right.
And probably lost half of his body weight.
Yeah, he looks bad.
Yeah, not in a good place.
For a guy who, our podcast is always tangentially related to Avril Lavigne. For a guy who was like married to Avril Lavigne for 6 months, he's not doing.
No, that was like years.
I thought it was like 6 months. I thought he gave him like half a year, and then was like, "Yo, don't fuck with them drugs."
Which one? Wait, which one of them was like, "Don't fucks with drugs"? Because I bet they both did them.
No, I think Avril was like, "Yo, I don't fucks with people who fucks with drugs," and I'm like, "All right, well, right on."
Because he did. What's his name?
I can't remember.
Derek Whibley. That's
okay.
He does so many drugs. Well,
yeah.
He did.
It's unfortunate. So do you want to know the off the subject of drugs? You want to know the 2 PS4 games you'll be getting for free in June?
I would.
Pixel Junk Shooter Ultimate and Trine 2: The Complete Story.
Don't know what either of those are, so great.
Trine is really, really good. I don't think I've beaten Trine 2, so it'll give me an excuse to do that. And then Pixel Junk, I've not played any of the Pixel Junk games. So
I've played Pixel Junk Monsters, but that's like so separate from the shooter. It's a tower defense, and Pixel Junk Shooter is like side-scrolling bullet hell.
Right. PS3, you get NBA 2K14 and Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, and then Vita Terraria and Mutant Mudds Deluxe.
Wasn't Terraria already free?
I think maybe at some point.
Oh no, I think it was on one of the sales.
Yeah. Well, now it's going to be free.
I already own it.
Right, I don't. They're giving away. I think they're giving away the game that was not worth my time, Dragon's Crown. I was like, oof! If I could get that $17 back and just to bought the Sly Cooper collection, that would have been like almost.
Yeah, I remember we kept talking about that, and you kept being like, buy Dragon's Crown.
I know.
I never did. I never.
Okay, you're a smart guy. Well, you probably bought something.
Oh, trust me, my Vita is filled with games. I have an entire like bubble thing of just not started. That's what it's called.
This is the worst. So the process of upgrading your PS4 hard drive is pretty simple.
It takes like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, it takes you about 5 minutes. I say like 5 minutes to set up. You just have to download the file from PlayStation.com, the complete firmware, not the update firmware thing. You have to have a USB key. You have to have a hard drive that can be 12.5 millimeters in height, although I don't think that any of them are anymore. I think they're all 9.5. Although I think there might be, like, if there's ever a 2 terabyte laptop hard drive, it's going to be 12.5 first.
Probably.
And so if you want to go straight up balls to the wall and be like, I want 2 terabytes.
Do they not make those?
I don't think they do. I think they're only up to 1.5 because it's a matter of scale. Like, it's a matter of how many people would really want that option. And plus, now everything is moving to solid state. You're about to do it. I forget. Is your hard drive larger than your solid state drive will be?
Oh, 3 times.
Yeah. No, but I meant the hard drive that's in your computer right now.
3 times the size.
Really?
Of the SSD. It's 750. The new one's 240.
Right. I don't keep a lot of shit on my hard drive anymore, on my local drive. Thankfully.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Should I take? Well, the answer is yes. Should I take out the optical drive because nobody uses that?
Right.
But should I put in my old hard drive and just run everything on there except for like Google Chrome and Adobe products on the SSD?
I mean, you can do that if you want. It's all.
Does that make sense? Or should I just install everything to the SSD?
I just install everything to the SSD. What I did is, so I took the hard drive out of the PS3, or PS4, for the love of Christ, the PS4 back there, and I bought an enclosure from Amazon.com for $13, and
I got one for like $2.
And so you know what, I splurged. I got a USB 3 one.
Oh, see, I didn't need that.
A USB 3 one that doesn't require separate power.
That's good.
So I paid the $13, and so now I have a 500 gigabyte external hard drive that's going to be exclusively for some music stuff that I'm doing. So bottom line, Minor League Geeks party line is that PS4, upgrade the hard drive if you really kind of need it.
Upgrade everything.
Just upgrade. Never be happy with what you have.
No.
You sad, pathetic. You know how you don't have friends? It's because you have a small hard drive in your computer and your PlayStation 4.
That's true.
No upgradable hard drive on the I forget. Does the Xbone has a proprietary one if I remember correctly?
What?
I think it's got like one of those crazy
like the
sort of
stupid, the other one that popped out.
Yeah, I think it's got one of those. But I think
that thing was cool. If you didn't ever need to upgrade.
Yeah.
Like I really liked popping it out and bringing it to a friend's house and just being like, "Here's my hard drive."
Yeah. But we can do that with like USB keys now. You can buy a 128 gigabyte flash drive for $40.
Yeah, but then Microsoft would be like, "Have fun with that. You can use 15 gigabytes."
Yeah. Oh fuck, I forgot about this. Arbitrary.
Or is it 4? It's like tiny.
Yeah. No. No. I think it's more than that. I think it's
you can't play back movies that are over 4 gigabytes.
Right. Oh yeah, because if it's sequenced into like FAT32, yeah, you can only have 4 gigabyte files. It's the worst.
That's absurd.
So buy Sony products, upgrade your hard drives to SSDs and your PS4 hard drives to terabyte hard drives, and just have a shit ton of space and really fast stuff.
Just if you have money, spend it.
Yeah, never save
All of it.
A goddamn cent. You could be dead tomorrow, and you could wait. Listen, if Connor Property of Zach saves 4 minutes per boot an activity on his computer, like that's a lot of time that he's got back. That he can hang out with his girlfriend. He can make himself sandwiches. He can do a lot of things with that time. Time you can never get back. Money you can gain.
True.
That's what I'm talking about.
Words have never been spoken.
Especially not on this fucking show, where I'm usually spouting nonsense. So this has been a nice, quick episode of the Minor League Geeks, episode number 32 of the Minor League Geeks podcast.
I think it's 33.
33, you're right, and a third. All right, let's rock and roll.
How'd you number those last ones?
I don't know. Well, it's in 31 and 32, but they were like kind of not real, but they totally happened. This is like the whatever in the canonical canon. It's
I was there. I was sitting right by that projector, right behind you.
Yeah, you were. It was a. God, we were so hungover that day.
It's not fun.
No, next time we have a minor. But the thing is, anytime we get together, we're all gonna get fucking shellacked. So every Minor League Geeks has to be recorded before we go out drinking and turn into really, really garbage people and vomit in the streets.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, listen, you did it like a champ. All right, so this has been episode number 33 of the Minor League Geeks podcast. You can find this podcast on iTunes at Minor League. Just type in the Minor League Geeks, just type in Minor League Geeks into iTunes or your favorite podcast app. Yeah, I think I did. No, I'm skipping like a record. You can find the podcast on Twitter at MLGeeks. You can send your comments, questions, and certainly your concerns to minorleaguegeeks@gmail.com. Please rate us on iTunes. You can listen to our sister podcast on our little network, Lipstick Nerds. All the female cast members that appear on Minor League Geeks got together and put together a show that is absolutely wonderful. You should really take a listen. Lipstick Nerds is the name of that podcast. You can also find them on Twitter at Lipstick Nerds. So now Connor and I are going to tell you where to find us on the internet. Connor, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on propertyofzach.com. We just did a decade .5, if you will, on Enema of the State for the 15th anniversary. I wrote about that. On Twitter, I'm at ConnorPoz, ConnorPoz, and yeah, that's about it.
Super cool.
If you want to super cool.
You're super. Super fucking cool. I have been your host, Brant Ramblin' with Range. When I'm not losing my mind, I'm tweeting at BRange, that is BRANJ. You can find my writing at brantrange.com and readretro.com, and eventually, I think Knights of the Round is the new site by the Ridiculous Rants folks. Also, just listen to the podcast Ridiculous Rants, spelled RIDDICKULOUSRANTS.
It's a lot of letters, yo.
Yeah, some consonants.
Some consonants.
There's a wonderful.
There's a vowel or two as well.
Okay, fucking. You want to spin the wheel?
Yeah.
There you go. Wheel of Fortune joke, everybody. Thank you again for listening. You can. I like the feud. Imagine minor league teams playing the feud.
God, I'd be down.
Yeah, it's so dope.
When are we gonna play Australian Jeopardy?
We're gonna play Australian Jeopardy soon. Very soon. Very soon. Thank you for listening to the show and putting up with our nonsense. Have a good week, and until next time, stay classy.